Greetings, royal family. So Marriage Boot Camp Hip Hop Edition is back. This is season 17 of the show, episode 1. And I think I might be on board. I might be adding this to the roster. So thanks for clicking on the video. Let's just get straight into it. So the episode opens with us meeting all 5 couples who are summoned to this beautiful house with unlimited food and alcohol, trying to sort out their relationship woes. We're introduced to this lady and Devon. He's 15 years younger than her, and she wants to be sure that he's not with her for clout. I just want to go on record saying that if Phaedra Parks was not on this show, I most certainly would not be watching. And this lady would be the reason why. Not spending too much time on her at all. Moving along, Corrupt and Tony. Dysfunction at its finest. They've been together for 3 years. They both have anger issues. And Corrupt drinks a lot. Okay? He wastes no time getting to the liquor in the house when he arrives. Someone pointed out, like, oh yeah, did you see the alcohol? He cracks open the Patron, starts taking shots, starts mixing drinks. He is ready to party. So Tony says in their confessional that he cheated many times, and then he recently cheated after they were already casted for the show. So she is ticked off, and it shows throughout the episode. It's going to show throughout the season. So she's coming off of a fresh cheating scandal, so she is not here for it. Okay, she's not feeling anything or anyone. She doesn't even really want to be there, and I can understand why. We move on to these two. Remember them? Willie from day 26 and his wife Shauna. They've been together for 15 years, and they both cheated. Shauna, she cheated to get back at Willie, but Willie's got her beat. He's cheated the most. So Shauna, she immediately recognizes Hazel E, and Hazel calls herself confronting Shauna. So apparently there was some static on social media. Hazel, she made some serious colorist remarks, and she kept tagging Shauna, and Shauna confronted her about it. And she made excuses, Hazel E that is, for it, and she ended up making peace with Shauna. So it's all good. Anyway, who cares? Moving on to Phaedra and Medina. Where did she find Medina? It's so weird. It might even be fake, but I like them together so far. I really do. I think they complement each other's personality. Phaedra, she's funny. Medina, he has a good sense of humor as well. Good looking man. Well, Phaedra says that she is celibate in their relationship. Medina says there's no intimacy, and he's trying to get to the promised land. Okay? We later on kind of find out why Phaedra is choosing to be celibate in their relationship. Up next, Vado and Tahiri. You know Tahiri from Love and Hip Hop. Vado is a quote-unquote rapper. He was affiliated with Dipset and them. So Vado says that he knows the first thing that he says is he knows Tahiri from the block. I'm like, okay. Tahiri says that she's also known Vado for years, and she said, let me just give him a chance. That is never a good reason to enter into and stay in a relationship. Like, I know him for a long time. Let me just give him a chance. They both say that they have baggage. So, that's about that. So all the couples, they're in the house and they're mingling, and Corrupt is feeling his liquor. Tony has an attitude. So the drama between the two of them is on full display. Up next, Dr. Ish, he introduces himself, and it's time for the quote-unquote great debate. This whole theme is a play on the presidential debate. So this is where they all present their issues as couples before Dr. Ish, Judge Toler, and a audience full of strangers. So they all are standing at podiums, and they play their interview video so that the others can see what the couples have said about each other, that whole shebang. So first up is of course Vado and Tahiri. He says she's a groupie. He calls Tahiri a groupie. He says that she's a thirst bucket. She's thirsty. She's a clout chaser. She's mad about him calling her a clout chaser, of course. She says, "What clout am I chasing if I'm with you?" So Tahiri says that Vado does not communicate and she doesn't feel safe with him. Did you guys see this? Like, are y'all watching? Like, don't let me watch this alone. You guys gotta watch this with me so that we can talk about this. I don't know. This just seems real manufactured. Like, you just got out of a relationship with Joe. You jumped into this relationship. Fine, maybe you move on fast. But Vado even pointed out later on in the episode, like, she's on TV with this one, with that one, you with this rapper, you with that rapper. But then, Vado, why are you with her then, right? It doesn't make any sense. Anyway, who do we have next? We'll leave it on them. Hazel E and Devon. He says that he still loves her, even though she thinks that he might be with her for clout. Who keeps lying to this girl? Never mind. I'm not even doing it. That's probably the first and the last time that I'm going to be discussing Hazel E. We move on to Phaedra and Medina. He says that Phaedra has up an emotional wall and they're not having sex. So Phaedra says that her cookie is the holy grail. So of course she makes jokes about it and she's very charismatic. I love it. She doesn't look too happy here, but she is basically scared of getting hurt. That's the bottom line. She mentioned her ex, who we all know is Apollo. She has children. She said that she wants to make sure that whoever she dates and who she's with is able to, protect and be a family and things like that. So she has up an emotional wall. Do you guys believe that Phaedra is being celibate with Medina? Anything is possible. I don't doubt it, but I know that there was buzz before the show came out that Phaedra is lying. It could be true. It could be true. I mean, I'd like to think that Phaedra has self-control. She seems like a very poised woman, but that's part of the problem. Everything on the outside looks good while everything is falling apart on the inside. That's going to mean something later on. All right, we move on to Willie and Shauna. These two. This is what I think of when I see them. I think of fools in love. They've been together for like 12 years or 15 years. They've been married for 12. They have kids together. The cheating has been something that has been a recurring theme in their relationship. He's cheated multiple times. They were on Love and Hip Hop LA, I think it was. And that was a mess, that cheating and the text messages and the girl outing him and showing up at showcases claiming that she's pregnant, a whole mess. So his cheating was basically played out publicly, and that's of course embarrassing. So Shauna says that Willie calls her out of her name, says that she's a bad mom, she's a hoe, she's a slut, she's a bee. And she cheated to get back at him. So he says that he's not getting a lot of things at home. Who told him to say that? Oh, please. And she says that he is not taking care of home. So Judge Toler was trying to talk to Willie, and she actually had to get him together because Willie was interrupting her. And she let him know, look, the way that you speak to women speaks volumes about how you feel about women. So she had to get him together. Judge Toler said, I'm talking, so you should be listening. Okay? So we move on to Corrupt and Tony. Lord have mercy. Corrupt was a hot mess, y'all. He was drunk, because remember, he had been drinking since he walked through the door. So while everyone was mingling and socializing, before they even were introduced to before Dr. Ish introduced himself and brought them on for this. He's two sheets to the wind, honey. And I mean two sheets to the wind. He was belligerent. He was making jokes about his male anatomy, saying, I love my D. She keeps thinking that I'm sticking my D in other people. I don't want to stick my D. This is actually how he is carrying on. He told Tony that she can get the F on, basically. Tony says that when he's not drinking, he's great, but the opposite is the case, when he drinks. She often leaves the house until he falls asleep or until he sobers up. Yo, Corrupt looks worn out. He is only like 45, 46, like 47 in that age group. And he looks old as heck. You know what it made me think about? Like when I seen all this drinking and, this crazy behavior, it makes me think of not only him dating Foxy Brown, of course, back in the day, but the passing of his ex-fiance and the mother of his son, Natina Reed. Remember her? She was a part of the group Black. She was like a mini Lisa Lopez. I wonder if her passing, because she passed away years ago in a car accident, I wonder if that has taken a toll on him. And I said to myself, I wonder if they're going to dive into that on the show, because he and Tony have only been together for 3 years. So, and I know that Corrupt and Natina, they broke up before Natina passed away, and Corrupt had custody of their son as well, full custody. And it makes me wonder, like, I wonder after she passed away, if he really just started spiraling out of control, or it was already bad. And then after, his ex passed away, it just got worse. So I'm looking forward to seeing if they're going to go into that. That would be good. And as far as Tony, why does Tony stay? Like, do you think that she's angry because she thought that she would be living like, the high West Coast life, the riches and all this other stuff, and all she got was cheated on constantly? I don't know. Like, why does she stay? 3 years? If he's so horrible, why are you staying? She strikes me as one of those people that are addicted to being a victim. I'm just saying, there are people who are addicted to being victims. Oh my God. Anyway, so we move on to the scene where everyone is assigned to their room. So, in boot camp history, the rooms always have a theme, right? So Willie and Shauna, their walls were covered in text messages that Willie sent and received from other females. So this is just a constant reminder of the infidelity in their marriage. And Shauna is just like, oh my God. Like, I cannot sleep in here. I don't want to be reminded of this. And I'm talking about they're all over the walls. Like, they were blown up, made into wallpaper, and they slapped that bad boy on there. Hey, Willie, when can I see you? Ooh, I don't know if I would have been able to handle that. But then again, I highly doubt that I'd be in a marriage boot camp house. Anywho, Corrupt and Tony, their room looked like the pits of hell. Literally, there was like fire pits with real fire. There was lava simulations all over the place, and this is supposed to represent their explosive fight. So Corrupt, he automatically got it when he walked in. He was like, cool. He thought that this was great. Tony is not having it. She is over it. She is miserable. All right. Hazel and Devon. Hazel's pictures were all over the wall. There were gold bars. Davon, he doesn't like it because he says, I think there were some toys or something like that in there, or something for kids. He said he doesn't like it because it makes him look like a little boy. He said, I'm not a little boy. I'm a man. And Hazel E was just quiet. Anyway, Phaedra and Medina, all pink everything. The walls were pink. Everything with the bed sheets were pink, satin comforters, real princess-like. However, the walls had cracks in them. There were broken mirrors and tiaras everywhere. Now, this represents Phaedra, everything pretty on the outside and perfect on the outside, but on the inside, everything is falling apart. Now, Phaedra, she's such a good sport about it. She says that, the room is turning her on. She loves the room. She said even though she notices that everything is cracked, she's willing to overlook that because everything is pink. I can't. Tahiri and Vado, their room looked like an airport. Tahiri says that she keeps running from herself. She and Vado keep running from their baggage, actually. And Vado is always on quote unquote standby, like waiting for a flight. So Tahiri seems to get the whole airport theme in the room. Vado, he tells Dr. Ish, look, man, I'm not feeling the room. Like, he's not feeling this. And Dr. Ish, he's doing his rounds. He's going around talking to everyone as they're getting settled in the room. So he sits down and he tries to talk to Vado. Meanwhile, we see Medina, Phaedra's man. He's in their room, roaming around awkwardly, looking out the window. He sits down, makes himself comfortable, and he eventually, Phaedra in her confession was like, what the hell are you doing in them people room? Phaedra is going to be comic relief. This is going to be great. So he, Dr. Ish is like, hey, Medina, man, you left something in here. So he eventually gets the hint. And the hints that were given, and he leaves. So the episode ends with Corrupt cussing out Tony during their confessional and telling her to stand on her word, and when they get back home to pack up her ish and get the F out. So I have to say, after watching this train wreck, and because Phaedra, I want to see what's going to happen with Phaedra and Medina, I am in. I'm adding this to the lineup. So, Royal Family, I will see you guys next week. Until next time, peace.